did the Packers prove that they are a legit threat to win the NFC?
No. No, not to win the NFC.
What?
No, they're not a threat to win the NFC.
Oh, to win the NFC or
No.
in the NFC?
No, win. Not
the
in,
NFC.
win.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely in the NFC, but not to win it. No, not at all. But I like that demeanor from Micah.
Yeah.
That is a no-nonsense. I come to work. I'm not playing no games. I got my hard hat on. And that's a little bit that we haven't seen from him. And that's probably why he's playing so well right now. He put the podcast down, and he's coming to work. So shout out to Micah for doing that, man, and sticking to your guns and saying, hey, I'm here to play football. That's what my profession is. So I like that mentality, man. That mentality, that's a dog mentality. He had a great game. That defense is playing great. They're very athletic. But Detroit, man, no adjustments on the defensive side. They stayed in man coverage all day. The same red zone route beat you for 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns in the same route. Like, at some point, we got to say, hey, let's play red 2. Let's get out this man and the same spread route that beat us to the flat. Hey, it was killing me, man. That was killing me. So they're not going to get over the hump against the Eagles. I don't see them beating Dallas. They're not going to beat Dallas. Detroit, they're doing, even the Bears, they got the Bears again, right? Twice coming up.
Playing twice.
Man, they got to stop the run. And Detroit proved that if you run at them and you put Montgomery in the ball game and run straight at them, they can't stop it. But for whatever reason, the Lions want to keep running stretches and toss with Gibbs. And they were running every single play down. Like, hey, Montgomery got in there. They went right down the field, score. You get in the red zone, and what do? You do a jump pass instead of running it with the guy that got you down the field. Yeah. That was an easy touchdown that they didn't capitalize on. Then you have the 4th down drop that would have kept that drop. The Lions shot themselves in both foot with 2 guns. Pow, pow. It's just, they could have won that game at home easily, and they gave it to Green Bay. So Green Bay's a good team, but they're not a threat to win the NFC.
What was your thought, curious before I go, on them going for it on that 4th down? Because hindsight, if he completes it to J-Mo and Goff hits him when he rolls out, talking about a different game.
Points.
You're right. It's a 2-possession game right there. You're going to have to score twice regardless. Take the 3. You're in great field goal position.
That's the analytics right there.
Yeah, man. I know, but Dan Campbell's committed to who he is. I'm aggressive. I'm going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, but now they're 2-2.
But there's also situational football that matters in that. And yesterday, Green Bay hit all their 4th downs. Detroit didn't.
Especially the way you are playing, you have to take that into account. It's not one of them games.
Take the 3 right there. Now make it a 1-possession game.
But J-Mo has to catch that ball. It's behind him, I know, but he gets both hands on it. No,
man, it's both players' fault. At the end of the day, it's the team fault. Whoever called it, he dropped it and threw it.
Yeah.
That's why I know. Get it.
We're having a different conversation. If they hit that, they go score a touchdown, then this is all irrelevant. But they didn't. And I still think to take that out of the equation, just take 3 there. Yeah. Make it a 1-possession game. That forces a little bit more pressure, too, on Green Bay. They have to play differently, and they're not as conservative. They're not as comfortable. But
I think, Jordan Love, you get him uncomfortable. He doesn't make those plays. He was comfortable all game.
Man. He was making throws with pressure.
I get it, but look. You knew it was man coverage pre-snap on all of those throws. It's man every time. Hey, let's disguise a little bit. 3 buzz, quarters, some fire zone blitzes. It was none of that. It was like, okay, we're just going to line up in man. There it is, right here. Run across, run the out, run the fade. Jordan, here's our coverage. Like, come on, man. You got to help your defense out, man. When we out there running man all day, now the corners did a fantastic job in the first half, but it wears down on your secondary towards the end. And then they lost their safety. Now 3-2. He was out there balling. Yeah. He did everything in his power. But when the play counted at the end, when they got that 4th down, because he was making every single play all game, one time, you're not going to make that play. And guess what? It cost you the game.
Yeah. It's impressive, too, that they trust Branch so much to cover. It's not slot guys. Premier wide receivers. You don't see a lot of safeties playing man-to-man and following around top receivers, which he had. I'm going to say this. I do. I think they are.
Win the NFC.
I think they can. I'm not saying they will. I think they can.
W-I-N, not W-I-N.
I think Green Bay can win the NFC. I really do. The reason I say that is because of how Jordan Love's been playing. And it's a lot of pressure on him, but when he plays great, they are really tough to beat. And 3 of their losses this year, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. In their wins and their ties, their 1 tie, 18 touchdowns, only 1 interception. If he's on, they are very, very difficult to beat, especially with that defense. Big if, but he's been more
Not always on.
consistent than he has inconsistent this year. I got to give him credit to that. And it's tough, man. Remember after week 2, Skip, we were sitting here and we all thought Green Bay was the best team in football. Well,
They were at the moment.
That was 2 weeks in, and
besides
Gerald screamed at us, and he said,
I'm going to take you through why. Besides Gerald, obviously Gerald did not think that they were the best team in football. But then after that, they lose to Cleveland and then tie to Dallas. We start to fall off on them. Then they go 3 straight. They also beat Pittsburgh at home, which was a big win. Aaron Rodgers, the comeback game, all of that. But they find a way to get the win. Then they have 2 more tough losses. They lose to Carolina at home, which was really tough to defend, and then they lose to the Eagles, which the offense only puts up 7 points. Love doesn't play great in that game.
No.
But since then, I know the Giants game was iffy, but since then they've been playing good football. And I want to talk about a couple plays in that game and why I feel so confident about the Packers going forward. The defense is great. The offense has been playing well, but when it matters most right now, Love is making that big-time play, that 4th and 2 to Wicks. They start in a bunch formation, and I love that LaFleur
Same play
does
that
this.
got the PBU the series before.
I love that LaFleur does this, though, because it makes it easier on the quarterback. They start in a bunch formation, 1 by 3. What does that tell you? Corner's over. I know it's man-to-man. You can see Love look at it. Okay, now I'm going to motion Wicks over. Branch follows him in man-to-man. That confirms to me it's man-to-man. We have a stutter go with a little simple crosser route by Dobbs coming across. That, for me, takes everything out of it. I'm going to go to the stutter go, back down to the crosser route.
Not forget, he stepped on the receiver's foot when he went up to go knock that ball down.
On which one?
On the 4th down play, Branch did.
Did he?
He stepped on the receiver's foot, and it messed his jump.
Messed his jump up.
Are you saying on the last play of the game? I'm talking about the touchdown on 4th and 2. The controversial one where was it timeout? Not?
And the touchdown.
No, that was another one. I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah, okay. There was a lot of controversy. That's why I'm getting to my point here.
We'll get to that.
There's a lot of controversy in that game.
But in that moment on the road, 4th and 2, you still got to make that throw. You still got to dissect the defense. It was a great throw. I know Branch turned around, got lost. Great throw in the bucket.
Great throw.
Was his foot down? Was it not? I know you can argue possession. When did he have it? But still, it's a touchdown. Big time play.
He was out.
But you don't think his toe was down?
I'm with you.
I saw a lot of
You don't think the
replays.
first toe was down? I was confused.
The ball was in the air. If the ball's in the air and not in your hand, you can't have a foot down without the ball in your hand.
Right.
He caught it, boop, it bounced, and he caught it again.
Yeah, it shifted.
It shifted.
What I thought was weird is why they expedited reviewed it. They didn't spend more time on it. I thought they'd at least look at it longer. They just immediately confirmed it.
They said he had possession with 1 foot down, and that's all that mattered to them. That was possession in the end zone with 1 foot down. But the next foot is clearly out of bounds.
Yeah, it's clearly out of bounds.
No way it's a touchdown.
What they were saying was that when the ball touched his hand, his foot was still down initially before it came off the ground. Then the second one hit. Technically, they're calling it the third one was out of bounds.
Yes.
I hear you. But that, I know, and I was the same way. I was writing in my notes, just play red 4. Quit playing man-to-man down in the goal line because you know you're going to get that as a play caller. If I know.
Here we are.
So this is what they're saying.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, that's tough on that view.
Yeah, that view is a little bit tough. It happens so fast.
But
I've seen a lot of slow. Here we go.
They're saying ball, that's a foot. Foot. They're counting that right foot first.
They're counting it.
Okay.
Because it touched his hand.
Okay, now here it is.
Right
Yes, it is. He touched it, that foot down, but look, ball in the air.
Ball shifting.
Ball is in the air.
Yeah,
I'm
not controlled.
I'm not
Still
disagreeing
not
with that.
controlled.
And you know what makes me
Yeah.
think it wasn't a catch even more is they just went on.
It was the expert. They said hey, they did
We're
it.
gonna
quick
expedite
review.
this. We don't want
They
too
didn't-
many
they
people
didn't
getting
take
a
the
good
time.
look at
I
this.
thought it would be this. To me, I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute review.
Yeah.
Where we're going back and forth, and then we're going to get the rules officials on air and telling us why they're saying it is, why it's not. It was quick. Hey, touchdown confirmed. Let's kick the extra point. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting. But I got to give credit to LaFleur, though. That 4th and 1 call down there, even though they're playing man, that was a big-time play call by him. So what you're going to see is they're 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dobbs in the slot. Dobbs is in the slot.
Yep.
He's going to motion over. You're going to see DJ Reed run with him. But what does he do? He goes outside of the stack. Now that forces Robertson to widen out, and then you can see both of them look at each other and do in and out. When you get in a tight stack formation down there by the goal line, when they're in man-to-man, when you're within 3 yards of each other, that forces them to have to in and out the call. So what they do is they start to fake switch release with Watson, selling it like he's going to go out. They get stacked. He bends it back on the post, and now that creates great leverage for Dobbs to be able to, or Dobbs, well, I keep saying wrong. Is it Dobbs? Dobbs. They give great leverage for Dobbs now with Reed on the inside to break to the flat and then throw a touchdown.
Yeah, they played that wrong,
I know
too.
you're saying it's man-to-man and it's tough, and that's what they do, but you also, as an offensive coordinator, have to be able to game plan for that
No,
and put guys in position to win. So I thought that was a great play call by them. But the argument then again is before that, did they call the timeout in time before the false start to even have an opportunity on that play?
But even Detroit could have played that with the man coverage. They just got confused and played it wrong.
So when they go in and out like that, though, and you have outside leverage, inside leverage, right? Both guys are playing in and out when you have a stack. As soon as they see Watson start to go out, Robertson's taking him because he thinks they're going to switch release. They fake switch release, then they send Watson back inside once they in and out, and now he has an easy walk-in touchdown because you have inside leverage with DJ Reed.
I think that corner was already set. Because you look, when DJ Reed was like, hey, like you played that wrong. You got to come off on that out. You have to.
So you don't think the switch release at the beginning,
it wasn't
though,
that much of a switch.
would make Robertson grab that?
No, he didn't come
you
that far.
You can see Love
outside.
look at him and he sees him
like,
do
man,
this.
what are you doing? But I give shout out to Reed for not pointing this guy out.
And Skip,
but that corner has to come off.
do you have the Packers winning the NFC?
I do not. They will not be a threat to win the NFC because they lost their best offensive weapon, Tucker Kraft. And yesterday, they lost the heart of their defensive line, Devontae Wyatt, who got carted off, and I think it looked like he's gone for the rest of the year. That will put a little more pressure on Micah Parsons to rise and shine the way he did in this game. But here's why this game's an aberration. The Packers just have the Lions' number. It's just a great matchup for the Packers because Micah knows that Jared Goff is a statue. By and large, he's a statue, and that you can get him, and he's a scarecrow in the pocket where he doesn't stand strong. If you just brush him with a fingernail, you can knock him down. And Jared Goff gets scared against Micah. You could just see he's looking for Micah and that he fears Micah, and Micah smells it. Micah's a great front runner. If he smells your blood, he will eat. He will be the Penn State Lion who will eat.
That's a good point.
And so in this game, they got a huge break on the Wicks call because that put them up 10-0, and they could just front run with that all day long.
Yeah.
And Detroit made some plays. Jameson Williams was except for the one, I'm going to call it a drop, but when he catches 7 for 144, that's some bad stuff.
That one right before the half, that screen on the missed tackle, and he just got,
he did.
Dangerous. And Amon-Ra, not having him killed him.
It's just huge, but they still hung in there. But Green Bay dominated them on Welcome Micah Day at Green Bay in that opener, and then they just. You could just see their body language. They just think they can beat the Lions. It's a good matchup for them because they can get to Jared Goff. So I don't. This was a weird game, and it went all the way down to that 4th and 3 play. And I admired. I know you don't love you some Love, but I give him on this stage on Thanksgiving. He's always been good on Thanksgiving. I don't know why, but this is. I'm with you. I don't trust Jordan Love all the way home. That there are going to be some games where he'll be a little his QBR is great. He's 3rd in QBR, and he was really good. He had a 95 QBR yesterday.
Wow.
And that 4th and 3 throw that iced it. He's got a rusher right in his face. He's off the back foot, man. He's off the back foot. And Branch is all over Wicks, man. He is all Branch. You talk about a safety covering a wideout. Man, he was covering him like Aqib would cover somebody, right? And it was right there where Wicks could just go haul it in, right? It was really a good throw.
Yeah.
But I think they're an aberration just against Detroit. I think they got their number just this year, and they won't have anybody else's number. I don't fear them. I don't fear seeing Micah in the Super Bowl. I'll go on record right now. Micah Parsons will not be in the Super Bowl.
Do you think they can win the division, though? You think they can win the division over Chicago?
This is a huge day coming up here in just a few minutes.
And you've been kind of riding with Chicago.
I have, and I just might ride with them again. We'll get to there.
Well, 75% of the chat says the Packers are not the best team in the NFC, so they are with you, Skip. They're not riding with the Packers. I do want to dive, though, more into the Lions right now and their playoff chances because right now